And like I mentioned earlier, this thing can be worn actually on the belt. So if you were carrying it around, it got a little heavy, you can actually put it on the belt. As far as accessing and drawing the weapon, again, it's not going to be a super fast draw. If you practiced enough with it, you could probably get proficient enough to where it wouldn't be that big a deal. But to access the weapon from a belt carry on the right hand side, again, you're going to have to come up, take that non-firing hand, put it here, retain your grip. You're going to come out. At that point, once you've got it out, you're going to make your presentation, or you could come to the ready position. And then to reholster is simple. And then again, just make sure if you ever had to, that you've got that Velcro up good and tight. And again, this isn't a bad way to carry it, and you can move it around on the belt. My belt loop here is kind of blocking it, but you could actually move it back a little bit further if you wanted to, and so you wouldn't have it so much at the 3 o'clock position. You could have it a little bit further back. If you're wearing, again, a jacket with it, then it's not that noticeable, of course. It pretty much will disappear. People can tell you've got something there, but if they saw you do it, again, they may figure it's kind of like a man purse or a man bag. Most people, however, when you're out and about, either they don't notice or they just don't care what you have. So it is a good way. But like I said, if you are going to carry it this way, some states would consider this to be concealed, even if you had it out in the open like that, because you can't tell that it's a firearm. So just make sure that if you get this and you are carrying it, that you know the local laws. You don't want to get in trouble with local law enforcement. Now, one thing that's kind of nice about how this is set up is that if you wanted to, let's say, take this off, but you didn't want to have to take the belt off, it's Velcroed on the back. You can just pull that up and out. So you don't have to fumble around with your belt and do a bunch of other stuff like that. One final thing that this thing does that I think it actually does really quite well is that if you're traveling or if you're at home, a lot of people will have a firearm on the nightstand, but it's out in the open. So you could have this either laying on the nightstand. It's not going to look like a gun, especially if it's at night. Since it's black, it's pretty much going to disappear. Or they have a thing where what you do is you unfasten, you fold the flap back where it's going like this, and then the owner actually says you even take this part off or undo it from the Velcro. And what you would do, let's say that this was the box spring, and then up above you would have the mattress on your bed. You place it like that. Where we use this hammer, and let's say that this was your mattress here, and you can put the gun and tuck it away so it's out of sight, but you'll still have real good access to it. And the owner kind of jokingly called it bed carry, but it's a way to have a firearm near to you when you're sleeping without having it out on the nightstand. Because if let's say someone broke into your home and you weren't woken up by it, the first thing they do if they come into your room and you don't wake up when they enter, if they see the gun on the nightstand, they're going to take it. So what this does is it does help kind of disguise what it is and help makes it to disappear. Now I talked about maybe some of the modifications that I would like to see made to this. The only other thing maybe that I would want to do, and it's kind of just a little thing, maybe to have some of the loop Velcro up here where you could either put a patch or something on there to maybe kind of disguise it a little bit. Other than that, that's about it. Or you could have just a thing with your to put a name tape or something like that on there. Other than that, it's a pretty solid little platform. If I had to recommend it as a holster, there's a lot better holsters that are actually designed for specific firearms that would be better. For an all-around case, it does real well for a way for you to walk around out in the public without causing a panic or having people crap all over themselves. It's a pretty good deal. Most people aren't going to do it. Now earlier I think I spoke about that these come in different sizes. And again, to walk around with this in your hand for the full size, it's big, it's bulky, and it does, if you see somebody walking around with this, it does kind of draw attention to itself. They make some that are smaller for smaller size firearms. So for some of the smaller semi-autos, things like a car or the Ruger, what is it, LCP, whatever it is, or the little Ruger firearm, the little polymer pistol that they have, or a little Smith & Wesson, a little snub nose, so things like Taurus, all those type of things. If you had a smaller one, I think it becomes a little bit less conspicuous because you lose a couple of inches, maybe off of the length and off of the width. Having said that, again, the price on them on their website, I think they run between, I think they're running maybe around like $69, something like that at this time. But you can go to their website, and that's Wilderness Tactical, and you can check it out for yourself. It is a little pricey. I wish it didn't cost as much as it did. I think, even though there's kind of a lot to it, I do think that basically paying $70 for this is a little pricey. I'd like to see it come down to maybe 50, probably 40. If they could get it down to 40 or $45, I think it would be you get real good value for your money. As it is, right now it's all right. If it's something that you want and it will fill a need for you, then the price it's fine. If we take a look at quality holsters, leather holsters, even Kydex ones, if they're really good, their starting point for a decent one is around probably in that $50 to $70 range anyway. So, all right, well, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and you can leave me a comment on the video. I also will take this time to invite you to listen. I have a couple of podcasts that I do. I'm a big believer in the Second Amendment. I'm also a big believer in the libertarian values of, if you're not hurting somebody, the government needs to just stay out of your business and your affairs. If you'd like to listen to a couple of my podcasts that I do, I have one called Firearms Cafe, and I have another one, a new one that I'm doing that is going to center more on kind of gear reviews and just be kind of a podcast blog type thing, and that's called The Armed Ape. And again, you can either Google those, or you can go directly to my website, which is firearmscafe.com, or you can go to thearmedape.com. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I know it's been a while since I've put out a video. I want to thank everybody that subscribed, and I appreciate your subscriptions. I appreciate your views and your comments.